Righto, so let's continue on this beast. We have got this little section here which I've got to get sorted out. So as you can see here, we've got a bit of a gap, and we do have a panel here which I'm actually thinking I'm just going to use most of this metal because that's not looking the best. And the dilemma I've got here is obviously that is our lower cargo door hinge, which is completely cactus. Now this is just a skin, obviously no mechanism on the inside of it, but I do have this guy, or this piece, which is the mechanism. Now the problem is, I don't know what this is. It says here B post lower repair right splitty 55 to 67, so it's the right thing, and obviously it goes here like so, but I've got a feeling this is supposed to be on the right side of the vehicle, which would be over there for a left-hand cargo. Yeah, that's what that is. Okay, what we're going to have to do here is just chop this mechanism out and weld it behind that, and then use this lower piece here to... Oh no, actually we don't need the lower piece, do we? Because that is going to go all the way to the bottom. Yeah, it does. Okay. Well, that's easy. All I've got to do is unpick that mechanism and weld it behind the back of that, and we're good. So let's go and get that done. Righto, so just use the drill here to drill out the spot welds, and now we can separate this little piece here, and that's what we're going to use. That guy, this piece here, this pillar, B pillar, we're going to chop that up and use that for the other side of the B pillar, so we're going to use that. But what we want to do here is put this piece mounting, and we're going to put it like so. So we're just going to use those holes that we drilled and just re-plug weld it and make sure we get it lined up, and then that piece can go into its spot. Okay, we've got a bit of copper spray and we've got a clamp, and let's just start plugging away. See how we go here. So I've just gone and put the outer skin in position. Now what I've basically noticed is I've got a couple of marks just here which I've put on here to tell me where these holes need to go. So I've got those lined up perfectly. Okay, step one. Step two, this section is right where that needs to go, near the jacking point. And the inner skin here, which is going to get welded to the back section, that's in position too. This is lined up nice and square, as you can see behind the back there. Right, so square, square, holes are lined up where they need to go. Bum bum. Have a look at that there. we're not really lining up too good. So this is, yeah, interesting. Obviously the panel needs to do this for that to line up with this, right? Now, if we do that, that's going to cock this on a weird ass angle, which means then the cargo door won't fit. This gap won't be right. That won't be level. So what the hell's going on? Is this another one of the aftermarket product not being quite right? So, you know, what do I do here? I'll probably have to chop this and bring this down to meet up with that. But I don't know if that's right or not. I mean, this hasn't been changed, so this all should be correct. But obviously that is not right. You know, it's a finger out. These are the sort of dilemmas that we face here, dealing with welding in panels. Now, this outer skin here, you can see that does need to drop, you know, about 4 mil, and that's fine. This is only just screwed in position, so that can come down. Once the floor goes on, then it'll tell me where this needs to go, and I suspect it does need to go lower. But that's quite a big discrepancy there, so I'm not really sure what's going on. Yeah, basically I'm not going to weld that in yet, because I just want to make sure that this isn't warped or bent or something's not right. So really I need to get the cargo doors mounted next, which means we need to remove the rusted screws in here, top and bottom, and the top one's up there. So I think that's going to have to be our next job. I think this one's just going to have to stay like that, because I'm not confident that that is where it's going to go. So yeah, you can see what happens. You start to do one thing and you've got to pull the pin and get something else done instead. Now, obviously to fit the cargo doors, I think the roof has to be fixed. Well, at least the top bracing. So I reckon we're going to have to get this down, and we might even have to tackle that outer wall on the other side over there first, get that welded in, and get some rigidity back into this thing, and then, well, maybe we can even just trial fit the cargo doors. So yeah, look, I think I'll get these, at least get these screw holes. These are going to be absolute torture to get out. They're not going to be easy, because they've been in there for a long time. So I'll do the old penetrine, apply heat, and see what happens. Let's tackle that now. Okay, we're getting movement. We're slowly getting movement. They've kind of sunk into the side a bit there, so probably have to pull them out, I think. This one here is moving, and that one there's moving. All right, let's see if we can get them out. Okay, after many, well, not many hours, but probably a good 40 minutes, I was able to get those bolts out. And what I've done now is I've gone in and re-tapped the threads, because they were pretty damaged. And now I've just gone and put a couple of bolts in there just to keep the capsulated nut from sliding down, because unfortunately up inside it's not pretty. So I'm probably going to have to do a little bit of surgery to the back end of this bolt, or to the actual capsulated nut that slides up and down, because, you know, once this is all buttoned up, you don't want that thing sliding down inside, otherwise it's going to be all over. So it's just not quite staying where it should be, right like that. You can see there's a little bit of play inside there, and that's normal, because, you know, that's your adjustability for your cargo door. But if I take these bolts out, the plate's just going to slide down about 3-4 mil, and then of course you can't get back to get it to work. So anyway, I've got to go up underneath here and see what I can do. I might even just be able to put a dab of weld there or something. I'm not really sure. We'll maybe do a little bit more cutting and see what we can do. All right. Okay, so if you have a look up inside, oh God, it's really hard to see this. I can hold it with two hands. There we go. If I do that, now you can actually see there's the plate and there's the movement up and down, and you can see the bottom right in there is the little bit of metal there is missing. So what I'm going to do is I'll just put a little bit of weld just here along the bottom of that, and that'll stop the plate from dropping down. So that should fix our issue of losing that encapsulated backing plate. Righto, so she's done. I've plugged a little bead of weld inside it to stop the nuts coming down. Now if I turn the torch on here, we can actually see what we're doing. There we go, that's better. You can actually see now that the little encapsulated nut backing plate is doing its thing. So a bit of Fahrenheit on the back there, you know, just because we can. And I've actually, this is another piece that I had, so that is going to get welded in like so, like that. And then from here to the bottom, I have this piece, which needs to be remodified, of course, but that's going to basically go in there like that once I do a little bit of choppy. Recycling pieces, which is a good thing. So that'll be next. We'll get this guy, I'll probably put some copper spray on the back of him as well, get him welded in, and we can call this corner good. Then we can move on to the top one up here, and that's going to be more fun and joy and torture and probably 2 or 3 hours of cursing and swearing, which you never see on YouTube. So got these ones done after the big fire, but of course the internal plate fell out, and I'll just show you how we fixed it. We just basically chop a flap out like so, and you can see inside what actually happens to that internal little piece. It just slides out through the hole at the bottom. If I wriggle this, you can see what I'm talking about. So I've got the bolt in there now, but you can see it just comes out through the bottom there, and you know, luckily I didn't have anything on the bottom here, so it just fell on the ground. But you can imagine if that was all nipped up, you'd be like, oh my God, you'd be having to chop a big hole out of here to retrieve that little plate. So now that I've made a little window, and I'll just, you know, weld the piece back on, it's no big deal. But what I'm going to do just to stop it happening again is I'm just going to put a bit of weld on the bottom here, just to stop that plate from you know, being able to fall out. So yeah, we'll get that done. And we're all done. Nicely repaired, shiny shiny, and yeah, you wouldn't even know they're wiser. Anyway, that's it. You can see I've put the bolts in there as well, just to make sure it's all good. I'll bend that flat back, and one more job done. And I think the next thing we're going to do is come around to this side, and we might start tackling putting this panel here in, which might be a little bit difficult because the hoist's in the way. So yeah, I'm not sure about that. I think we might have to either that, or we might actually go back on the underneath of it and start getting it ready to put, yeah, we might put it back on the wheels and then spin the whole bus around and put it in the other way. Then I can have this side away from the post. I tell you, it's planning, isn't it? One after the other. Yeah, so we can't do anything down there, can't do anything down there yet, don't want to put the floor in yet, so I think we'll just get the bottom prepared for paint. I think that's going to be the next thing we'll do, unless I change my mind, which I could do. Now, one other quick job I have to do here, you can see up here for the engine lid, I've got my encapsulated nuts up in there, which are in good condition. I'll probably run a tap through them just to make sure the threads are good. But unfortunately this side, I got one out, but the other one, you can see here, not going to play ball at all. Have a look at that. Spinny, spinny, spinny. Now, there's a few ways to do this. I could just drill that out and then re-tap the hole, but I'm going to use the welding technique, and it's just going to be basically weld a blob and bring the blob right down to about here, so then you can put a pair of vice grips on it, and then hopefully the heat will, I mean, I have tried blowtorching this thing and it just wouldn't come out, so we'll just see if we can get it with a bit of mechanical grip, see how we go. But hopefully the heat from the welder will set the rusty threads free. All right, let's have a crack. So you can see there she's still glowing away, and I've just welded a nice little blob on there. Now we'll grab the vice grips and let's see if we can remove it. Don't really like my chances, but anyway, let's give it a go. Now we need the right kind of vice grips. No, too small. No, too weird of a jaw. We want the good one. Now, where is the good one? That is a good question. Look at my glasses. That's the problem. I take my glasses off. Now I can't see to find my glasses. How much is that crap? Glasses, where are you? Oh, I tell ya, it's not good having shonky. Oh, there they are. See, glasses. I need those. Still vice grips, vice grips, vice grips. Yeah, I think those ones should work. Ouch. Let's give this a go. Alright, I'm going to put you guys down because I need two hands. Alright, done. Look at that. No damage. And definitely no emotional damage. That's for sure. So that's all done. Alright guys, well I think we'll go in and have a coffee now. Thanks again for all the new subscribers. And we'll catch you in the next episode on the 55 Panel Man.